30 days is totally a different story. 30 days under Special Marriage Act is for everybody whosoever voluntarily goes and does it. Now, assuming if 30 days is removed, do you mean to say anybody and everybody, those who are not voluntarily agreeing, or even if they are agreeing, they'll go and get the marriage registered? It's only for purposes of court marriage and registration.
Right, right.
But I think my submission is not giving too much of emphasis on 30 days notice, but more than that, those who are voluntarily wanting to marry when they are of marriageable age, then in that even the system doesn't have any mechanism where the proper protection is given. They go to the High Court and ask for protection, file a writ petition. Why? What the police is doing?
It's interesting.
Why the authorities are not able
Mr.
to
Mittal,
take care of that?
you have raised a pertinent point. I'm going to take this to Mr. Azad. Mr. Azad, I'm sure you heard what Mr. Mittal said. And it's interesting here because every time, somebody with seriousness and passion tries to defend, Section 5 of the Special Marriage Act, you have to listen to them. You have to pay heed because, then again, good outweighing the bad, one versus thousand. I mean, who's to judge whether one life matters over 1,000 over here? Mr. Mittal is saying that, the 30-day notice period is not the problem. The execution of the safety of those couples after the notice is put up, the execution of, let's say, making sure that nobody, the vigilantes, the moral police out there does not come and bother them, that should be, of prime concern. The objection, which is more to do with Section 7 of the Act, not Section 5. Do you think that's the way to go? Maybe not completely doing away with the notice period, but tweaking how people can object?
Okay, let me make 2 points on what my family respected lawyer, Mr. K.C. Mittal, whom I know for the last 40, 50 years. I'd like to make my point. Now, the first is, as Mr. Mittal said, it's a very critical point, and I'm on the legal issue itself. Secularism is defined, it's not defined in the Kesma Bharti case, but it was apparent that Supreme Court would refer secularism as one of the basic features of the Constitution. Now, once it is in the basic feature of Constitution, it means that anyone has a full constitutional right as an adult to marry anybody, right? Now, in that, a 30-day period limitation, it does not make sense because it is virtually impinging on your fundamental right. So whatever procedural aspect, I can even understand if it's a one-day notice for the SDM to keep his kaghzat ready and things like that. But otherwise, this 30-day notice does not stand any on whether it's legal basis, constitutional basis, or any on social norms or anything. That's number one. Number two is that the question of reporting to the police, yes, I agree that in those 30 days, the police should be on the watch. But why the 30 days at all? That's what I'm saying. Secondly, that point about police not acting, what I'm saying is, if, for example, a father makes a police report about his daughter suffering in a marriage, there are laws under sections of IPC that there are, in fact, very, very stringent laws of against exploitation of women or against tormenting a woman in a marriage, etc., Dowry Act, and there are so many. So why not act under that? As far as activating the police on this is concerned, I totally agree with you. Police should get the orders. They should be sensitized by the top leadership that in any such case, they should intervene immediately. But the 30 days notice, I'm absolutely against.
All right. Well, K.C. Mittal, also taking a look at the suggestion of the Law Commission report, any particular suggestions over there? None have been taken up so far, but any pragmatic solutions over there when the Special Marriage Act is being looked at?
Let me tell you one thing. Is it that the Section 30 days notice is mandatory for a marriage? Why can't a person go to the masjid and perform the marriage? Why can't a person go to the temple and perform the marriage? Where is it necessary that there must be a 30-day notice at that stage and for such marriages? But the question is, basic question which I am telling you is, that the two, if they want to marry voluntarily, the problem arises over there. If a father makes a complaint to the police, now who will decide whether the girl has gone voluntarily or under pressure? Therefore, has to be a system at that stage. If there is a complaint made, the person should act. The authority should act. They should not wait for 30 days notice. And this is what has happened in the case which we were dealing with. The police did nothing. And the father kept on crying. My daughter has been calling me that 5 boys have taken me in the car and nobody is helping me. Save me, father. Save me, papa. What do you do? What these SHOs and police ACPs, DCPs are doing? But the fact to be ascertained at that stage is whether it's a case of kidnapping, forcible marriage, or it's a case of voluntary marriage. If they are voluntarily marrying, then nobody can stop it and they should be protected. If it is not, then the police should take action and register FIR for kidnapping. Why are they so insensitive in acting promptly and definitely at that stage? It will, I'm telling you, these vigilante, what you say, in most of the cases, they are motivated.
Mr. Azad, vigilantes being motivated, that's again a real pertinent point that Mr. Mittal has raised over here. In most cases, vigilantes do seem to be motivated. It's either, a miffed set of parents that have, called upon local goons to go and put pressure on this particular couple. So then again arises the point, isn't the 30-day notice period acting as a deterrent here? A means, tools to safeguard this intended marriage rather than putting questions over it or putting it out in, full public glare?
Kabir, you can look at it both ways. Look at it, in a very simple way, like we should look at everything. Here is an adult who wants to marry another adult. Forget about, Hindu, Muslim, Special Marriage Act. Why should there be impediments? Number one. Number two, if there is a problem related to that, the police would say, here is an adult marrying another adult, and the other person, her father, is saying that it is kidnapping. So it will be viewed as an ordinary crime, right? But isn't it implausible? There are many reports, when even I was there, saying, my daughter is 26 years old and she's gone away and I want to report kidnapping. Now, would you report a case of kidnapping for a 26-year-old who has gone for 2 days? So therefore the police says, wait for 3-4 days. She might come back or then we'll see. So what I'm saying, what you can deal with ordinary crime or IPC cases, why should you attach it with the Special Marriage Act? What was special? See the intention of Special Marriage Act. What was it for? It was for freeing you from the oppression of parents and vigilantes, and now you're putting a 30 days notice. What does it signify? That is my basic objection.